So in your recent ebook, you proposed 10 questions that everyone should be asking a DCIM vendor. I'd like to turn the tables now and ask these same questions to you. How does that sound?
Let's go for it, yeah.
Okay, quick fire round. So let's start with, does your Nlight product address all the DCOI optimization metrics?
It does. Nlight software meets all 4 of the metrics natively, and that's what Nlight brings to the table.
Great. So question 2, can it also allow for calculating server utilization?
It does, yeah. So server utilization is a tricky one. In the initial DCOI version 1, this was the most controversial metric.
Okay.
It was too hard and too vague they called it an underutilized server, and there was always a discussion around what does that mean. So that has changed. They've readjusted the metric to be a little bit more subjective to how I might use my servers, but to still look for underutilized servers, right? So Nlight gives you a place where you can look at those servers, kind of dial the metrics that you're using to determine that they're underutilized, and then go examine those servers and say, oh no, that thing only runs every so often because it does backups, or so that's why it seems like it's underutilized, but I need it. It can't go anywhere.
Does the Nlight DCIM software solution cover the entire data center lifecycle?
It does, yeah. So Nlight, as I mentioned, is a comprehensive solution, right? So being able to manage assets from doc to decom is what we like to say. So as they're being brought into the organization, you want to start that understanding that asset's life right then, all the way through its life through the data center, and then as you decommission it.
Okay, great. We touched earlier on how important it is to speak to people that are actually using the DCIM software that people are assessing. So does Nlight have clients that can vouch for your software?
Yeah, that's always a part of any interaction we have with our customers. Customers have a lot of differences, but they have a lot of similarities as well. So they want to hear the story of like the path that our existing customers have gone down. Those are invaluable things to get from a third party, that says this is how we're using it, and these are the things that you can watch out for whenever you're either making a decision, or even as we have folks on different parts of maturation, right? So you have customers that are early adopters that sometimes want to talk to people that have been doing it for 5, 6, 7 years. How did you get there? We always find like that's a valuable thing for people to do.
So is DCIM software just a peripheral part of the Nlight business, or is it kind of your key product? DCIM
is all we do, right? It is the main thing that we focus on. So we found that being able to play nice with all of the makes and models of hardware, sensing equipment, connectors to other integrations into other products allowed us to do what we do best, and then integrate with other parts that maybe other companies do best, right? And so then we can just focus on a singular problem and make the product as the best that we can.
You may have answered my next question, which is, are you hardware agnostic? I think you just did.
We are, yeah. So we find that much as some customers may have one maker model or one manufacturer of something that they would like to monitor, it just never stays that way. There are all types of makes and models that we need to be able to talk to or get telemetry from.
Absolutely. So can your DCIM software solution link facilities to IT as well?
Absolutely. DCIM provides that common place, that common area, that common language that we can talk across, right? So that we can get the most out of our data center and optimize it as much as possible.
Okay, so is the Nlight DCIM software also easy to integrate with ITSM solution?
It is. We find that to be a huge part of the decision-making process for a lot of our customers. Nlight doesn't just sit in a vacuum, right? DCIM doesn't just sit in a vacuum. It needs to be able to relate to people capturing change information, as well as integrating and exchanging data with CMDBs that are already out there, maybe well established.
For sure. And we can't not address the question of security, which is crucial, especially with the field we're looking at. So how strong is your security angle on the DCIM software?
Yeah, so as part of our QA process, we go through a third-party code assessment that is done as part of our software development lifecycle. For our government customers, we also are installed in highly secure environments as well. So we have government customers all over, and so they have very stringent configuration standards for where you're installing the product. And so we passed all those with flying colors, with multiple authorities to operate in different parts of civilian defense and intel for our customers.
And how about post-sales support? What can your customers expect to receive?
Yeah, I mean, we have a wide variety or a wide range of services post-sales.
So can people track performance against DCOI mandates using the Nlight DCIM software?
Absolutely. Our DCOI dashboard inside of Nlight allows you to do just that. One place that you can look across your entire enterprise, or to just maybe separate locations, sub-locations, and how they're doing against the DCOI mandate.
Okay. Finally, and I'm sure this is more than 10 questions, how do you support application rationalization and cloud smart goals?
Yeah, so we have a number of solutions. We have a discovery solution that helps us go out and look at detailed information about not only servers, but the applications that live on those servers. And it gives us really detailed information. It helps assessing what you have and seeing what the technical fit in the organization is, and doing a cost analysis. All along that life cycle, Nlight can play a part.
Great. So I'd like to wrap up by asking you for one final piece of advice that you'd like to leave our viewers with. What is essential that they take away with them from your insights?
You know, the main thing is DCOI is a good thing. You know, it is something that is worth implementing and that you will get value out of. You know, assessing and creating an inventory first, right? Going out and making sure you have an idea of where things are, where they live, what they consume. I'd say building a process around and a policy around the change that exists inside the data center will make all of that data that you just gathered stay accurate, right? Stay viable and have fidelity, so that you can ask it questions and get good answers back. I'd say integrate into other things, right? Integrate into change management, into CMDB, so that you're sharing this work that you've already done, these things you've already invested in, to make the DCIM solution and make DCOI even more accurate and make it even more achievable. And then I'd say with all of that data, analyze, right? Be able to then create rich data reports, be able to access your dashboards that are not only the DCOI metrics, but then are any other questions that you're going to ask it about. You know, how much power am I consuming? How much space do I have left? Am I going to run out of a resource? And then repeat, right? Do that over and over again, and you're never done, right? There's no end, there's no finish line. It is a process, it's a process of improvement. You can only look back and say, wow, look where we've come from, and look at the improvements that we've